Test. Okay.
Okay, I'm back.
Hey, Leslie.
We are just waiting for folks to get here. Leslie, am I loud?
No, not really.
I sound loud to me coming through.
You might be just a little.
Testing, testing, testing. There we go. I think that's
Yeah, that sounds
about
better, I think.
Yeah.
There. Gonna mute for a second.
We will be getting started momentarily, folks, so please stand by.
I'm back.
All right, we're still waiting for Jason.
Okay. See if I can do this quietly. Can you hear the traffic noise in the background on my end?
I don't think so.
Okay. I have the windows open, so I just wanted to make sure I didn't need to go shut them. Check my battery.
Come on, Jason.
Where'd he go? Uh-oh.
Sorry, Aaliyah was guilt tripping me. Not really.
Ah.
And I was actually
Into-
what it
into
really
helping
was
you with her
mostly is I
test.
was right. Honestly, what it mostly was is I was trying to fix my pop filter. Its arming doesn't seem to be as rigid as it used to.
Mm.
But obviously, I'm here
Yay.
in Mixery.
All
Oh, I
right,
need to
guys.
turn my team.
Do we have any news?
Probably, but I don't know what it is.
Trying to think of anything I've seen.
Crap. My PC's updating.
Uh-oh. They always do that at the most inopportune moments.
Agreed.
Son of a. Son of a.
We are live.
Where's
on
that
both,
beep when you need it?
We are live on both YouTube
Right.
and on Icecast.
Oh, that's Amaze Barnacles.
Nice.
Wow.
It's cool. Not even gonna ask where that
Yeah.
came from.
I was literally about to say something else and had to change it mid-word.
Yeah, gotcha. And you went with barnacles.
Right?
Not on purpose. I said it and I was like, did I really just say that? Because it totally sounded like I said it on purpose.
And just remember, guys, anything said on the YouTube live stream, we don't edit.
Oh, it's just
Uh-huh.
like Vegas. Anything that happens in Vegas stays in Vegas.
Yeah, but that means it stays
Yeah.
somewhere.
Anything
This goes
said on
everywhere.
YouTube stays on YouTube
That's true.
and gets
Well-
shared all over the world.
Yeah.
Hashtag the internet is forever, so.
Right.
So, Michael, is this recording for us? Because my PC, again, is updating, and I don't know if I'm going to be able to have it in time to make a decent backup recording.
It actually does record to YouTube. We could take it down if we needed to get a copy, but I will be recording as well.
So then are we just going to consider that to be the backup?
We can.
Because I don't know how long this is going to take, and I have my headphones plugged in, so.
My favorite was the day that mine decided to update 3 slides into a presentation.
Oh,
The whole
no.
computer just
That
the whole
sucks.
computer just rebooted, and we're like, what?
Well, it's partially my fault because I saw the restart now button, and I thought I was on. I thought I was on later, and I wasn't because it said restart button again. As soon as I hit space, I'm like, no,
Escape,
Oh, no.
Escape.
because I could barely hear it through the CADs with these bows on.
Gotcha.
So it's partially my fault. I'm sorry.
I guess we could talk about some Black Friday stuff.
I mean,
New Apple TV server.
the release
came
of
out.
Servant. Oh crap!
Good job.
What
There we go.
was that?
It's
That was
funny
me
because
accidentally
I tilted
bumping
my
the-
head right as you did that in that direction, so it was kind of weird.
I kind of felt
that's
like the
awesome.
sound went from one ear like through my head to the other. I was like, what? That was weird.
That's because I accidentally moved the pan slider. Oops, that was me doing that with my hand that time because I'm trying to get this cable off of it.
Quit
There we go.
touching stuff.
I was moving a cable. I was rescuing it. I was setting it free.
Okay.
But no, the topic for this episode, and I don't think it's going to be a long one, guys, is what technology are you thankful for?
Don't either. Should I?
And it
do you want us to do
device.
physical tech?
Yeah, anything.
Because my original idea was going to be screen reading technology because it allows us to use all of these devices. But I don't know. I'm just thankful for tech.
I mean, we could always do, a couple.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's true. It doesn't have to be one. All right.
I mean, it doesn't have to be one thing.
Well, for example, like I'm going to talk about the whole thing that happened this week when I went home.
Oh, yeah.
And the technology that was kind of used to, the software and hardware that was used to kind of track this thing so we knew what to do and what not to do.
Oh, nice.
All right. Are we ready?
I think so. You're pretty quiet, Michael.
I know.
Yeah,
yeah,
right.
he's.
Jason, am I too loud whenever I get up like this, or am I?
Actually, I think I might be a little louder than you. Let me turn myself down. Keep talking.
Yeah, I think you are just a hair.
Testing 1 2 3. Testing 1
testing
2
1
3.
2 3. Testing 1 2 3. Testing
now you're
1 2
about
3.
even.
Yeah, I think we're good now. Test. Michael, say something.
Yawn.
Well, that works. Yeah, I think we're good now. Yeah, we should be good.
I was
so we're just gonna
trying to get out of that yawn. I'm like, oh no.
Right.
Might as well use it.
Right. So we're just gonna use our YouTube thing as our backup then.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. What will it save that as a video file?
Yeah, it'll save as a video.
Okay. Well, if you don't mind pulling it down when it's done, I can convert it to audio.
Okay. I'll see what I can do.
Sweet. That'd be cool if we could just use YouTube as our recording one of these days.
We could.
Yeah, but we talked about
Would
having
the sound
backups.
quality be good enough for
Yeah.
that?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
They take whatever you send them.
Yeah, so
Gotcha.
it's getting the raw audio directly from Audio Hijack. From
OBS.
I guess it would be Audio Hijack, wouldn't it?
No, well, sort of.
Sort of.
So, and for folks that are out there on YouTube and on the Icecast server, the way that this setup works is very convoluted. We have our mixer over here. We have that goes into Team Talk, and that's how everybody on Team Talk hears us. And then we also are using Audio Hijack. In Audio Hijack, we are getting audio from our microphone and Team Talk, sending that audio to a sound recording first, then to a live broadcast for Icecast, then to an application called Loopback, which makes another audio source, and then to our headphones. Now, Loopback then takes that audio and sends that to OBS, which then sends it to YouTube. Not complicated at all, is it?
No, not at all.
I think you lost me right after Audio Hijack.
It's a lot of software doing a lot of crazy things to make the show magical.
Yeah.
And then I get
magic.
a hold of it.
Let's go with that.
And then it's in my hands.
Scary thoughts. Scary thoughts.
Yeah, very.
I can't. I don't break it.
No, you don't.
Most of the
You do
time.
a good job.
Well,
we all break it sometimes.
Yeah.
right.
But
I make it shiny.
In the spirit of Thanksgiving, we do appreciate all the stuff that the IA team and Jason does.
Absolutely.
See, I
'Cause
singled
believe it or
you
not,
out. I said, and
I
Jason.
highly appreciate
Yeah, I know. I was like
people.
surprised. I was like, wait.
I highly
honestly-
appreciate people who know more than I do.
Well, believe it or not, it actually does take a
Wait,
lot
like-
of time in order to make the shows sound the way they do when they come to the app, because I have to noise reduce them, then compress them. Compress them, then noise reduce them, because I found it works better with the software I use, and then gate it, and then wherever the gate pops, where syllables pop into place or snap into place, then I have to go in and apply little teeny tiny fades to sort of smooth that stuff out. And having to stop so many times means that it could take anywhere from 5 to 7 hours to have a complete show. So if anybody was ever wondering,
All right.
Or would like to volunteer to help. Contact Jason at.
At Jason at iAccessibility.net.
yeah. No, I love doing it though. It does take a long time, but I really do love the post-production process. And
That's a
I don't
pea
know
popping
if I-
test right there.
right.
Right?
Speaking of which, I think I did plosive. Let me fix that. Post-production process. There we go. Also, I think my computer's restarting again. Anyway,
It's got 2 or 3 more times to go.
probably. I was so impressed with
Jason?
seeing AI.
You can't hear my traffic noises, can you?
No, you're...
Okay.
Well, I don't think so.
I figured if anybody'd be able to hear them, you would.
Well, it's so weird because sometimes when you get an audio file of these shows, you'll end up noticing things that you didn't hear when somebody's like, "You don't hear such and such, do you?" And then you play it back in the audio file, and you're like,
Yeah, you're like,
"How did
"Oh
I
my
miss
God."
that?"
Right?
And then the compressor, of course, will bring it up because it
Sure.
does stuff to dynamics and whatnot. So, but anyway, Michael, I think we're
Yeah.
officially ready.
I think so too. Hang on just a second.
But now Michael's not.
Right?
Oh, I was just, my windows are open, so I wasn't sure how loud
me,
the traffic noise might be.
I need to
All
mute
right.
my computer so that it stops doing that. All right, let's see.
We're recording.
I think, actually, Leslie, I think your traffic is coming through a little bit. It's not
Okay.
a lot.
I can
but
I can move
I
or
do think
close
it
my
is
windows. Let me
Coming through slightly.
let me try moving into the other room. As a big truck with a Jake brake comes down the road, making lots more noise than previously. Ooh, hello,
These 18
counter.
wheels are rolling
Didn't
until
mean to
the
run into
break of
you.
dawn.
Okay, now I got away from it. I was sitting at the table by the windows, but I'm in
Ooh,
the
that's
other room
spacey.
now. You can
I
tell
can
I
hear
had
your-
company over this weekend because stuff is not where it was 3 days ago. I get to be a lot more careful before I sit down. Be a lot more
madness to
careful
my
before I
method.
sit on stuff.
Right.
All right, guys, we
All right,
ready?
that should be better. Yeah,
Hold on.
unless my cats are.
Yeah,
making
that should be better.
noise.
All right. Let's do
Almost.
this.
I do hear that vehicle.
Yeah, I was gonna say that one was particularly loud.
All right, y'all ready?
Yes, maybe.
Yeah, let's just go with it. I should be able to fix most of any of that stuff, I think. So
Okay.
let's roll with it.
All right. 3, 2, 1. Well, happy Thanksgiving, everybody, and welcome back after the holiday to another iAcast episode.
Oh, that came through. We might need to do that again, Michael.
Well, did it start talking after I finished?
No.
It was like right on the end of episode, on the ode.
Oh, you could put in audio, the music right there, and nobody's gonna hear nothing.
Well,
Well, I don't.
yeah, maybe not. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah, I don't think it'll matter.
Yeah, it should work. I just like clearly heard it. I was like, oh.
Right.
Yeah. But yeah, that's why I put a big pause between, with our new style. That way you have room.
Leslie, your jaws is going.
I know. I was like,
Or
oh,
NVDA or whatever that is.
mute. Stop speech.
Function F4 is a great thing.
Right.
Wait, wouldn't that mute the whole Surface?
Yeah, it would. Yeah.
Yes,
you wouldn't
it
hear us.
does.
Yeah.
See, he doesn't want you on the show.
Aha.
No,
I didn't realize it would do that, though.
She would be on the show. It's just she couldn't hear us.
She'd have her own show on top of ours.
Right.
That would be interesting.
Right.
Just randomly throwing out comments and hoping they land in the right place.
Hey, then you'd be Google.
Okay, we got to get started, but this would be a funny thought. Just everybody mute their sound. And just everybody say random stuff and just...
I know.
We'll have to practice that one day.
Oh.
Wow. This wasn't an outtake, but it sure was funny.
Yeah, right?
Okay.
What is that,
All
thought
right.
take?
All right. 3, 2, 1. All right, we are back with another episode of the iAcast. My name is Michael Doise, and I'm here today with Leslie Dixon.
Hello.
And Jason Earls.
Hello, everyone.
All right, so we just had Thanksgiving, and did you guys do anything fun for Thanksgiving? Hang out with family or go buy new tech for Black Friday? Leslie?
I did buy some Black Friday tech, and I had my family here for the weekend. They just left today, so we had a nice time.
All right. What about you, Jason?
Went look.
I ended up seeing some family. I saw my mom, my brother, my sister, and all those folks at their house. My mom's boyfriend was there naturally because he always is. And that sounds like I'm talking down, and I'm not. But yeah, so I saw my family there, and we had good food. Unfortunately, I didn't eat too much. Because by the time I was hungry again, my girlfriend and I were already back here, because she didn't want to drive in the dark. But yeah, there was good food to be had. My sister ended up falling in love with my phone, and we ended up taking a family picture in 1,000 takes, because they had the
Those are always fun.
Christmas, right? Well, they had the Christmas tree set up, and my mom was all about having a family picture taken. My brother was like, let's use Jay's phone because he's got 3 cameras. I'm just like, okay then. So we played past the iPhone, and then my girlfriend had to be the one to actually take the picture. So we had to do so many takes of that. Normally pictures are annoying to me, but honestly, I just had a lot of fun, and then I was kind of being geeky, wondering how well will this actually turn out? I wish I could see the camera, but it was all good though. It was a lot of fun.
That's when it would be great to Photoshop all those takes together and pick out, this person looks good in this picture and that person looks good in that picture. Let's just mix them all together and get the right the right poses for the right one. Make one great picture.
That'd be kind of neat. And for me, it was the craziest birthday and Thanksgiving I think I've ever had. If people haven't heard of the news, there was an explosion in my hometown of Port Neches, Texas, where there were refineries. And we were driving right there that day on Wednesday. So it was very surreal and very interesting being right where you grew up and seeing this smoke for miles and miles that just kept coming up from this burning refinery, and then hearing the second explosion and then having to evacuate. So I'll talk more about all that during the the topic of the show. But we had a lot of fun. We went to Houston, and we all got together as a big family, and ate a lot of food, and it was so delicious. So yeah, it was very, very good. It was a good Thanksgiving. I didn't buy any new tech. Bought some games, but that's about it. And went to see movies, and kept enjoying Disney Plus and Apple TV, which is Apple TV Plus, which is one of the very few news topics we have today, and that is Apple TV Plus came out with their next show, Servant, which is scary. I mean, oof. Have you guys heard about this?
I have not.
I've heard about it, but I haven't actually like seen the trailer. Like I read an article or something about it in one of the channels from Apple News, which it's kind of interesting, Michael. Going back to the explosion for a minute, I'm a little surprised I didn't see anything in my top stories or anything for Apple News yet.
It was on Fox News.
Yeah, and I see their stuff. It hasn't come up in my news feed yet. It's really weird.
It did not show up much. I looked for it Thursday night and saw it on CNN. Just a very short story, not much about it, and then saw more about it on, I don't remember if I looked Friday or Saturday when I got a little bit more information, but there wasn't a whole lot out there on it.
Yeah, most of the details you'd have had to go to the local news sources, I think, to really get info. But,
right,
my family in Port Neches has worked for the city government and all those kind of things, so they still have friends. So, I was in the know more than most people were, but it was also very disconcerting that they didn't use the emergency management system like with the phones to send out, please leave now. For whatever reason, they didn't use the
really.
Yeah, they didn't use the phone alert system, so I thought that was kind of interesting.
Huh.
But back to what I was saying about Servant. Leslie, you said you hadn't heard about it.
I have not, no.
It's a horror TV show from M. Night Shyamalan, where
Gotcha.
this couple, this husband and wife, are living together. They just lost their baby, and they I don't want to give too much away, but they have this doll to represent, to help the mother let go. And it's about this
say no more.
They just had this person come in to help out, and it goes from there, and it's scary, and oof.
Yeah, I probably won't be watching that because my imagination runs just a little bit wild, and I go to bed and dream and make it much, 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 much worse than it was on television.
Well, the thing about it is, and I did that, I watched it right before going to sleep Thursday night. I'm like, oh boy, I shouldn't have done that. But it's a good show, good story, and, taking it back to technology, it's interesting because it's an Apple TV original, Apple TV Plus original. But I caught inconsistencies in that show. Like, they're using the original iPhone unlock sound. Yeah. And several other things like that. Like, they'll open the iPhone and they'll use the unlock sound from iOS 6. And I'm like,
wow.
It's Apple.
Right. Like, it bothers me, but it doesn't surprise me when it's from like other...
How many people would know that, though?
This is Apple. Like, this is my whole point. Like, it doesn't surprise me if it's a show from like, wow, I'm impassioned about this, but it doesn't surprise me when it's a show that's like from, CBS or whatever. Well, CBS would surprise me a little bit, but other networks and things, that they're using the wrong sounds. In fact, what really gets me is when you hear like the iPhone unlock sound and you hear a touch tone as the phone unlocks or as the call answers, because that's totally not what the phone does at all. But Apple, the company that A, makes the iPhone, and B, normally is very attentive to those types of details, allowed that to happen. I mean, I'm not saying it's a good decision or a bad decision. Maybe they had a reason they did it. I don't know. I don't personally see what it would be, but it is weird that like Apple has.
I mean, there's two possibilities here
in their shows.
There's two possibilities here. One is that the show actually takes place several years earlier than present day, or the other option is, but I don't think so. The other option is that Apple just doesn't have that much involvement in the creation of the shows.
I have a third possibility. So it's been a minute since I've heard that sound, but isn't it much more of a distinctive lock click kind of sound than what they use now?
And and that might be
that probably plays better.
Yeah,
possibly. But also the iPhone, it doesn't actually play, I don't think, an unlock sound anymore. It does with voiceover when you use like Face ID and stuff.
Yeah, no.
But they may be using those sounds to kind of do more of a, this is what this person is doing.
Right.
But the style is very much how they've done it on a lot of Netflix and BBC shows. So I have a feeling it's more of a director style.
Well, as long as they don't play the Android unlock sound.
Well, I was going to get to that. I was wondering, when will we see, or have we seen, and any of our listeners who can actually bring this up, is there an actual Android phone in any of the current Apple TV Plus shows? Because if there is, that would be hilarious.
Surely someone has one.
That was Beezy.
Yeah, sorry.
I thought that was me. I was like...
No, I bumped my my headphones.
I just heard boom, 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 boom. Well, since we're technically kind of cut, is there a way that you can maybe turn Team Talk down a little bit or your computer down a little bit? I'm picking up a little bit of feedback, and some of it I don't think I'm going to be able to remove.
Let's see if that's better. I turned my computer down a little bit.
Let's see. Test. Well, you're not going to hear feedback on your own.
Test.
No, I was just seeing if you could hear it while I was
Well, that's
talking.
what I'm saying. Like if you... Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. Yeah, I think it might be... Yeah, I think it's a bit better.
Okay.
I was trying to figure out if it was you or... Well, don't turn it down so much that you can't hear us.
I'm not. I can still hear you. I just turned it down a couple more notches to see if that was better.
No. Test. Okay, yeah, that's better. I was trying to figure out if it was my headphones bleeding back to me or if it was Michael's headphones or what it was.
Because I don't hear it at all.
Yeah, so...
Say something again, Jason.
So it's probably me.
Yeah, if you don't hear it, it's caused by you.
Right.
But test. Yeah, I think we're good.
Okay. I can turn it down a little more if it's helping.
I think...
Let me try a couple more notches.
Yeah, I haven't
All right,
heard anything
try
either,
that.
So.
Okay. Yeah, test. Okay, yeah, I think we're good. Because I think I heard it. I'm not sure if I heard it, but I was speaking very loud for that to happen, so...
Right. Okay. Yeah, I don't want to turn it down any more than I have it, if I can help it.
Yeah, I think we'll be okay.
Okay.
All right. 3, 2, 1. So, yeah, I mean, it's... Cut. What were we talking about again?
We were talking about
whether there are any Android phones featured in Apple TV Plus shows.
and sound effects.
Yeah. Okay.
Also, look, an outtake.
Right? Yeah, we haven't had an outtake in a while, so. All right. 3. No, that outtake is going to be called cut in, cut out.
I don't know if it's like what it says about us that we seem to be producing less outtakes. Like, are we getting too good, or are we taking ourselves too seriously? What's going on here?
I think we becoming. I don't know. But I think the more shows I do, there'll probably be some extras.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
3,
Yeah.
Maybe.
3, 2. Oh, wow. That was weird. Whitley just snorted while sleeping, and I have the amplification on my headphones, and so it was really loud.
See, I don't do that. Like, if I use like the ambios or whatever as my headphones, I'll tend to either noise cancel or just have everything turned off because I don't want to hear my environment. I want to be able to single out what the microphone's hearing, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Wow. Now I turned on noise cancellation, and now it's weird. All right.
Are we ready?
Yeah.
3.
One more time.
Yep.
Yes. 3, 2, 1. So, I really like what they've done with Apple TV Plus, and I love the shows. They're really awesome, and I just hope they keep coming out with new good stuff because, we're starting to see the end of the initial list of things that they're coming out with. So, I hope that they continue to make good shows next year. Same with Disney Plus. I'm
Yeah, I know what
Still
you mean
haven't
because
gotten Disney Plus.
yeah, I don't have it either, but I know what you mean though, Michael, because like Apple TV has their list of shows, and I just hope that we don't just see, okay, look, we have our list of shows, we're just going to keep improving on our list of shows. Like I do want them to add more and more shows and get more and more of a variety, move beyond well, there's officially more shows than I can name off the top of my head, but you know where I'm going with this, like more than just what we've seen so far as far as the initial Apple TV show list.
And I kind of hope that they restructure the TV app. I just feel like it's very busy, very confusing. And I wish they would restructure that some.
Yeah. I could sort of get behind that, actually.
All right.
If I remember correctly, it's kind of visually confusing as well.
It is. It really, really is. All right. So I guess let's go ahead and move on to our next part of this show. And that is first to talk about something that can help you start up and become successful with your new technology projects. And that's iAccessibility's web hosting. iAccessibility offers web hosting for all of your needs for $5 a month. For if you're going to have a few websites, and $10 a month if you're going to set up other accounts. And, it's $60 a year, $120 a year, respectively, based on the plan that you pick. And that gives you unlimited domains, emails, all of that stuff. So, another provider that's very popular, that's kind of newsworthy too. GoDaddy has become... has set up where they charge for email accounts now. So we don't. And if you switch to iAccessibility, you can have email through us or through Office 365 or Google, however you want it set up. We can do one-click WordPress installs, custom versions of PHP based on what your needs are, and anything's under the sun, we can do. So, again, $5 a month for our basic plan, $10 a month for the full reseller package, and we will set you up web hosting at iAccessibility.net. You can move your custom domains to us, and we'd love to have you as part of our web hosting community. All right, so this was Thanksgiving, and I really think that this is something that needs to be talked about more. And it's, we buy our technology and we use it, we abuse it, and we throw it away. But, people say, well, it's technology, they're just out to make money. Who cares? Right? But the truth of the matter is that this stuff does save lives. This technology does help us live better lives, and it helps us be better humans. And so I think that we also need to be thankful for the technology that we have in our lives and that's been created by these tech companies, because ultimately that pays their wages and allows us to have the technology that we have. Do you guys agree with that?
Definitely.
Yeah, I really do. Other than my technology deciding to install updates at inopportune times.
Yeah, Jason's not thankful for that.
Well, Jason's part of the cause of that, but oh well.
That's a whole nother episode.
So
139. Jason pushed the wrong button. 138, rather.
So, and the reason why I wanted to bring up this topic is, as a podcast, I would like us just to say thank you to Apple, to Google, to Microsoft, to all these companies who have made these things for us and allowed us to be able to make our lives better for that. So, to start off, Jason, if you had to pick a few devices that you use on a daily basis, which devices would you be the most thankful for? And that includes software.
I think it would be... Well, I think, honestly, the biggest one for me would really be screen reading software, because, regardless of what platform you're using nowadays, pretty much all the major platforms do have screen readers on them, which, of course, allow me to use any other devices that I would be thankful for, so I think, in that instance, for me, it would be screen reading software, and then my phone, my Mac, I'm going to say it, my PC, and my iPad. I'm really thankful for all these devices. And honestly, even my Pixel Book, because without the Pixel Book, I never would have been able to experience Chrome OS. I mean, I could have, but it's just really neat to be able to experience it. Regardless of how I might feel, I'm still thankful that I had the experience. Well, have the experience. I still have it, but still.
Okay. Leslie, what about you?
Well, this was so hard to narrow down. But I think for me, and I'm definitely going to agree with Jason about screen readers, because I could not do my job without them. Even if I could, find ways around doing other things in life without it, I could definitely not do the job that I have without that. So I'm very thankful for that. But I think my number one pick is Braille embossers, because it gives us the ability to crank out Braille much faster, more efficiently, and create, Braille books that used to take years to get out, because someone had to get the book, they had to transcribe the book and put it all together. And it could take a lot of time to put a book in Braille format, whereas now a digital copy of a book could be printed out on a Braille embosser and bound and be ready for someone to read. And you also have the ability to get that in digital formats as well if you're using a Braille display or a Braille note taker, some device that allows you to read those. But I think just for getting that out to people that don't have access to the higher tech ways of reading Braille, and embossers are really been a nice thing to have. Some of the other things for me are, much as I don't use it very often, having accessibility features, and I guess this falls back on screen readers on my television. And I was able to, set that up on my own and know what channels I'm on instead of having to just flip and guess. But that's been kind of nice. And some of the things in the kitchen, like digital meat thermometers, and that just allow for greater independence. And one of the things that I bought on Black Friday was an Instapot, so I'm looking forward to getting that and playing with that as well. So there's so many things, but I think that basically the top picks for me.
I just have to point out it's not called an Instapot. It's not Instagram. It's Instant Pot.
Is it not? Okay.
But
it's actually Instant Pot.
Is it? Okay.
It's funny though, because so many people, I know I pick on you, Leslie, but so many people actually do call it Instapot, and I was one of them, which is why I laughed and had to point it out.
I was like, have I really been hearing that wrong all this time?
Now, you know what really would be funny if you bought something called an Instapot.
Oh, that would be hilarious.
Well, I'm a little
like
concerned. I might need to go back and check.
Like an Instant Pot knockoff or something.
Right.
The Instapot.
To go check my order now, or maybe I'll just be surprised in the mail like I was with my AirPods.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, tell that story.
You're really thankful for that. You're really thankful for that remote, aren't you?
Yes, when my AirPods finally arrived after 2 days delay, I opened the package to find a universal television remote, and my first thought should have been, I don't think this comes in a blister pack. But
well,
my
also
definite first real clue was,
you?
I don't think this should have buttons.
But I thought you said the pack was already open though.
The envelope was not. The blister pack was at the end. It had been sliced open at the end, so I was able to just reach inside the blister pack without going through the process of opening it. But yeah, my first thought was, I didn't think these came in a blister pack, but hey, whatever, okay. And then when I put my hand inside the package to pull out the device, I was like, I definitely don't think this is supposed to come with buttons all over it. Something's not right. So it turned out to be, my AirPods Pro turned out to be a universal television remote, and that got quickly returned. And finally got my AirPods.
And this is from...
Be like, man, I know Apple changed the case, but...
This is from Best Buy, not Apple folks.
Yes, this was not from
folks
Apple.
Know.
And even the people at Best Buy, when I took them back, were like, wow, not even close. And we are really, really, really glad that you didn't come in here angry. Like, well,
right, because that's an expensive universal TV remote right there.
The only moment that I considered even being angry was when the person on the phone asked me, so do you still want the AirPods? I'm like, yeah?
No, I changed my mind. Mind.
This remote.
This is so much better.
I'll just keep it instead. But it happens. So it got resolved. Got my AirPods. I love them. So no problems now.
It's a
So,
pretty
go
good
ahead.
story, though.
Okay.
I'm just
Yeah,
saying it's a
exactly.
pretty good story, though.
Exactly. So, my I think my devices it's so many things. Technology is my passion, so I'm thankful for the whole industry. But I think it's really down to the Apple Watch and the iPhone. We have Android phones, we have the Pixel phones, we have the Samsung phones, and they're great. They really are great devices. But I feel like the iPhone goes far and beyond what is needed. They go beyond the minimum, and they allow us to do so much more with the watch, with fall detection, health data, all those things to save lives. And we have Apple News, we have push notifications, we have all these things, we have emergency services alerts on our phones, which didn't go off last Wednesday, which was interesting, and I'm still curious why. But basically, it's just that we have, you know, we can turn on a news source from our phone and see what's going on without having to be home at our TV from the last 20 years. And that's incredible. We can see these things now. We can be in charge of our own livelihood and say, okay, I need to make a decision. Do I evacuate because of this issue going on, or do I stay put? Do I, um, you know, make this decision based on information that I can easily get instead of having to hear by word of mouth or from a TV? And that is incredible. Or look at it this way: how much more do I need to work out today? How much food do I need to eat to get the right amount of calories? We can do all these things with our phone. And that, I think, is the thing to be thankful for. Because we can really enrich our lives through technology. I was talking to one of our regulars on this show, Jeff Bishop, and he was saying that, a lot of surgeries are not even being done by people. That some surgeons just sit at the keyboard and mouse of a Mac and let the robot do the work. That's incredible. And I'm very thankful that we have that in our lives. I remember going to a doctor's office about 5 years ago and seeing a computer in the office for them, in every office, in every room to take notes on. That's incredible. And I think that's why I felt this episode was needed, to really say thank you to the industry, but to let people know why we should be thankful for, because, a lot of people still have the belief that technology companies are out there just to make a buck. And they don't know that, and maybe the management is, but there are a lot of engineers in those companies that are there to make the next best thing, because that's what they're passionate about. What are y'all's thoughts on all of that?
We just started this year using telehealth communications at work, where if a veteran lives very far away and can't get to the VA, or can't get even to a closer doctor, they can go into a local clinic. They can schedule a telehealth conference with their doctor at the VA, and then go into a clinic close to them and communicate with that doctor through the computer, through the camera, and have someone there that can, the doctor would have the person with the veteran take their blood pressure and that kind of thing, but they can assist them through telecommunications. And we can do that now as well, even with some of the devices. If a veteran's having difficulty doing something on a device, or they get it and they can't remember how to set it up. We can teleconference with them and help them with that and save them a trip. And I think that's really going to be beneficial, especially with the medical, for someone who has difficulty getting to a doctor.
Well, I think that um, it's like you said, Michael. You might have some management, you might even have some whole companies that are in the technology industry just to make a buck. But you also have technology companies or employees of technology companies and whatnot to actually want to make a difference with their technology. They want to enrich people's lives and they want to enhance people's independence and things like that. And I think that's really great. And I'm really thankful as well that we have the technology that we do. I just think that, while all this technology that we have is great and stuff, I think part of the problem, part of what makes people have this belief that, technology's bad for us, technology's making us lazy or what have you, is being caused by individuals themselves and the way they use technology, which is not something that companies are going to be able to account for every single use habit. But I think if we use technology in the right ways, then it's great. And I can't really think of anything you know bad about technology in general. I just think that there are some bad things that can be done with technology, but technology in and of itself is a great thing, and I for one am thankful to have it around.
So yeah, and it's very important that we let people know, these things are tools. Everything that we have, even your car, is a tool. And so, until the singularity happens and we have AI walking around, then they won't be really tools. Um, but it's all tools. I mean, even look at Orcam and Seeing AI. Those things are amazing. You know, we're going to have an app coming out in the next couple of months called Perspective. That will be another app to help people use, you see things and hear things in real life, and they're all tools. And so, use what's best for you, and just don't take it for granted, and think about it as this is something that helps me, and it's amazing. I got to meet the folks who own the Patriot industry, Patriot Industries for the Blind, and that eyewear is amazing. And I did something I've never done before, and I put it on while going down the road on Greyhound and in the car, and I could see the distance between two cars. I could see rolling hills, the road winding, and that's amazing. I've never been able to do that with any other eyewear, with any other device, and I'm very thankful to have the opportunity to try out to use that device, and to tell people how amazing it is. I've gotten to try out a lot of what's out there, and the Patriot still, after a year of using it, is still always surprising me of what I can see. I was able to almost read billboards going down the road, and that is incredible. Usually I could only just see them coming up, but being able to read them, or even seeing the yellow signs on overpasses to tell the height, I'm like, wow, that's cool. I didn't know all that was there. So things like that, give you new perspective. And the more that we use our devices like Orcam, Seeing AI, Patriot Vision, all these things, and the better perspective we get on the world makes us appreciate things more. Same with mainstream tech, being able to watch these shows without having to be tied down to cable, without having to, be stuck with just something we don't want. Having the ability to choose what's best for us is something we should all really be thankful for. And that's why I wanted to talk about this on this episode today. And, it really kind of put things in perspective for me. The story was last Wednesday there was an explosion in my hometown at a refinery, and there was a second explosion, and they evacuated everybody in a 4-mile radius because it could have gotten a lot worse. And the firefighters and emergency management services staff were amazing at keeping evacuations calm and orderly and putting out the fires. So but basically, we had to make decisions whether we were going to stay and have Thanksgiving there or leave. And because the air quality was bad, there was smoke, there was, I have pictures of it there. It's crazy. And, technology played a very pivotal role in knowing what, making a decision on what to do. Now, there's also some bad things that happen because people will put on Facebook, here's what I heard, oh my God, doom and gloom. But that can cause panic. But again, if you use the tools correctly and keep a level head, then you can make the best decisions for you. And we got out of there, went to Houston, had a wonderful time for our Thanksgiving this year. So, do you guys have any final thoughts before we kind of wrap it up today?
I kind of ended up saying my final thoughts earlier, to be honest.
Something you said earlier made me think of a situation that happened over the weekend that was kind of nice. That while we were watching television, I showed my dad how to use the Apple TV remote, and he, was able to flip back and forth and watch TV all weekend. And then last night, I handed it to Mom, and I briefly told her how to use it, and she did something. I don't know what she did, but she got somewhere and didn't know where she was, and I was able to say, okay, let me figure out what's going on, and turn voiceover back on and help her out, whereas I might not have been able to do that before that. Voiceover was there to assist me, and I could get her where she needed to be, and then show her in more detail what she needed to do to get to the channel she wanted to watch, or find the show she wanted to watch. And that was really nice to be able to help and be active in that, where I might not have been able to do that years ago.
Yeah, it's definitely one of those things that sounds like not a big deal, but it really, really is. It's amazing.
Yeah, and just the ability to be able to participate more in things than you used to be able to is definitely something I'm thankful for.
Well, and I feel like, especially in the case of Apple TV, I know I said I didn't have any final comments, but I guess I lied. I don't really know of a general way to say it other than they make accessibility normal. And I think other manufacturers are starting to do that. And, I think that's a very great thing, and definitely something that is worth being thankful for.
Well, I think in the past there's been a definite line in some places of, okay, if you have a disability, you can do this, but not this. And I think that line has gotten much, much thinner and has blurred in a lot of places and even disappeared in some places. And that's a great thing.
I agree. And, one final thing I'll say is even YouTube is amazing because we have a social way to interact with, people doing videos like us right now. We're on YouTube streaming this. And if people wanted to, they could chat with us about, what they're hearing, which we will follow in future episodes. But it's just amazing to be able to have that ability to communicate with your followers and things. So again, technology is great, and we should, I think, all be thankful for what we have. So with all that being said, Leslie, what is your pick for this week, and where can people find you online?
Okay. Have to pick something else. I'm gonna pick my AirPods this week since that's my newest toy. I balked at getting these for a long time. I just didn't really think it was something I was interested in. Didn't really think I would be able to use them because I've always had earbuds fall out of my ears very easily, and so far so good. I really enjoyed them. I love the transparency. It allows me to be able to use them at work and hear my phone without everybody else hearing my phone when I need to. And yeah, they're great. So that'd be mine for this week. You can find me producing content for iAccessibility. You can email me at Leslie, Leslie, at iAccessibility.net. You can find me on Twitter at lady_Lessa, Lessa. And you can find me on Facebook by searching facebook.com/ladylessa, no underscores in that. And please just let me know that you heard about me through the podcast.
All right. Jason, what about you? What's your pick, and where can people find you?
My pick is a book that I started reading recently called Autonomous. It is by Andy Marino, I believe. We can put a link to it in the picks. But it's a very interesting book. The main character, it's their friends are just out of high school, and the main character ends up in a contest to win an autonomous vehicle, and they decide to go on one last road trip together before, people start going to college and whatnot. And the car will take them anywhere they want to go, and places they may not want to go. So it's a very interesting book. It sort of talks about the advantages and sort of some of the maybe disadvantages of social media and other technologies, autonomous vehicles, stuff like that. I have not yet actually finished the book, but so far it seems to be pretty good. So that is going to be my pick this time around.
I'm looking forward to reading that. I think that's going to be next on my list.
Yeah, it's very good. It's on Bard. I don't think it's commercial. I think it's a Bard narrated book. I don't remember who the narrator is. I'd have to go look. But that's how I have it as Bard. It's definitely really good. I like it.
Okay.
It's great. So as far as where people can find me, you can find me producing content for iAccessibility. You can email me at jason@iAccessibility.net. You can search for me on Facebook. Just search for Jason Earls. And you can also follow me on Twitter at JDE, that's Juliet Delta Echo 91. If you add me to social media, please let me know that you have found me from the IA cast. Man, I missed saying that.
So, mine has been a toss-up, so I'm going to pick two things. And first, it's going to be Servant. Just really like that show. It's just really a cool... I've never been into a lot of horror-based films, but this just brings you so far in that you're kind of creeped out, and then brings it back to normal. Then brings it back in a little more, creeps you out, and brings it back to normal. So I like it. It keeps you engaged. And my second pick...
You lost me at creeps you out.
And my second one is going to be a movie I went to on Friday. And I believe the actual name is Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood. It's the Mr. Rogers film. And that was a very good movie. And it's based on a true story with Fred Rogers and a friend he had. And kind of just, it's there to give you a perspective of the life of the TV actor. Our TV star before he passed away, and Tom Hanks does an amazing job in that movie, so I'd check that out. As for where people can find me, you could find me producing content for iAccessibility. You can email me at Mike Doise, that's MikeDoise at iAccessibility.net. You can find me on Twitter at Mike Doise. You can find me on all of the social media things. Just look for Mike Doise. Or I'm even on Telegram and several other places online. So feel free to find me there. At Facebook, search for Michael Doise, and you can find me on my website as well at michaeldoise.com. Well, I want to thank everybody for being here, everybody that's listened on the stream and on YouTube. And, I'm just thankful for us being a good group and a community producing all this content and services. I think iAccessibility is great. It's my dream to be able to help people learn about tech and become, enthusiastic about it, and to get into doing their own technology projects. And so I just want to thank everybody who has gotten involved with this all, and just very glad that we have the community and the listeners and everybody that we do. So I want to thank you all for being here, and we will be back next week with a new episode, hopefully with more tech news. And it has been a great episode, everyone. So thanks for being here, and we will see you next time. Bye, guys.
Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Oh, right.